Hello, I'm Ethan Van Duzen. I'm Period 8, and the scientist I'll be acting on is Benjamin Franklin. Here today interviewing me is Jimmy Williams, also from Period 8.
Hello. All right, we'll start now. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Benjamin Franklin, and I was born in 1706 in Boston, Massachusetts. I also grew up there as well. I went to Boston Latin High School but did not graduate, and later on, I did not attend college. As a scientist, I invented the stove, the glass harmonica, hand paddles, the lightning rod, and most famously, the bifocals. I was fascinated by electricity and devoted much of my time into studying its properties. Before I became a scientist, I started a successful printing business and grew wealthy. I am also remembered as one of the founding fathers in helping contribute to writing the Declaration of Independence, which secured freedom from Great Britain in 1776.
Wonderful. Thanks for telling us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your childhood or upbringing.
Yeah, I was born into a poor family, and my father was an England native, and he made candles and soap. I was the 8th out of 17 children, and before I became a scientist, I started a successful printing business and grew wealthy. Then after that, I eventually became a scientist.
Well, that goes to show anybody can be anything when they put their minds to it. Next, what has been your most important scientific finding?
I would say the bifocals was pretty important, but overall the lightning rod was probably my most important scientific discovery because it saved thousands of lives and livestock. I used it to put on the top of buildings so when a lightning storm happened, it would hit that and not the buildings so the buildings wouldn't fall down. I used a kite and a paper clip to use this or to figure out this invention, and it ended up turning out well because it saved a lot of lives.
Very cool. What question or problem were you setting out to address when you started your work on this area of discovery?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a system where a lightning bolt was built on top of the buildings and houses, so when a lightning strike hit, it could attract the bolt and absorb it so the house and building and everything inside it was not destroyed.
Wonderful. Great invention. What was the coolest thing about your work?
I would say the coolest thing about my work was that I discovered that lightning was electrical by flying a kite with a key attached to the line during a thunderstorm.
Shows us how inquisitive you are. In what ways do you hope your discovery and invention will lead to meaningful improvements in the world or lives of other people?
Yeah, I'm constantly looking for practical ways in which people's lives could be helped or improved through scientific discoveries, observations of the natural world, and inventions, like inventing the lightning rod to help protect houses from lightning strikes.
Wonderful. How is your work seen in the world today?
I developed the Franklin stove, which provided more heat while using less fuel than other stoves, and bifocal eyeglasses, which they still use today in some museums to discover new things. I also I made tools that are all used today and have a big impact on everyone's life.
Very cool. What is your view on the relationship between science and religion?
I was interested in proving traditional religious beliefs through scientific experimentation. I believe in a democratic form of government, enlightenment, thinking such as I was based on science and reason. I also believe that there are a group of lesser gods who may or may not be mortal but help control the universe.
Alrighty, and one last question. Who were your friends back in the day?
Yeah, I would say growing up, I didn't have too many friends, but I did have some friends also in Congress who helped write the Declaration of Independence. George Washington helped, and John Adams was there, Thomas Jefferson, one of the authors, and I feel like we bonded and connected, and we were known as the Founding Fathers, and we kind of helped construct the U.S. government and get freedom from Great Britain. I mean, George was out fighting in the Independence War, and I was making these inventions at home to help people stay safe from lightning storms. So, yeah, I feel like in all, we kind of built this connection, and it helped us secure freedom from Great Britain. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining our podcast today. See you next time.
Thank you.
This episode has been a production of the Capistrano Valley Christian Schools Podcast Network. Capistrano Valley Christian Schools is a Christian JK through 12 school in San Juan Capistrano, California. Be sure to check out, subscribe to, and leave a review of this show and the other shows on our network on your podcast player of choice. Doing so supports the school community in a multitude of ways. For more information about the CVCS Podcast Network or any of our other shows, check out cvcs.org or email podcasts@cvcs.org. On behalf of the whole network, this is Mr. Jasper saying thank you again for listening and stay tuned for more.